Welcome back. So when we left off, we were in the middle of a war with the Santomaroi and the Lavis Consolidated Suns because they were guaranteeing, or they were in a defensive pact with the Allied Seaban systems. The war is going pretty well, but I did lose one of my army stacks invading a planet. I've got the better army stack on its way over currently, so it should be in place soon. We recently crushed their, what I'm assuming is the bulk of the fleet, if not the entirety of the fleet from the Santomaroi. But let's keep things moving on pretty well. Yeah, we do have rebels, it looks like, down south. Which is so annoying. Those guys can't stay in control of anything. So I'm going to send one of my fleets down since I'm not expecting any real resistance anytime soon. I don't know why I have a cruiser just sitting around. Oh, right. Replacing casualties. And I did lose some orbital structures in Sysmac, but that's alright. So the rebels are on the way to one of my systems. I'm just going to tell this fleet to destroy the rebel fleet and then move to help free up down here. The lack of stability from the vassals that I'm creating out of the Hungarian Union is obnoxious. Let's see. Okay, so they are moving to orbit the planet. So my fleet that's down there should be able to catch theirs, no problem. This fleet is, or these transports are in position, the planet is at 0 fortifications, so this is as easy as the invasion is going to get anytime soon. I could probably assign a general in there. I don't know if you can assign one from space, but I'm feeling like the xenomorphs will fare much better than the robots did, and now that I can actually pay attention to the invasion, if the xenomorphs do start to get too low on health, I can just retreat them. And as long as I keep the planet blockaded by an actual fleet, they won't be able to recover their ground armies. But you can see the progress is going pretty well. The scientists just gained the maniacal trait. Maniacal is one of the better ones. It enables and dramatically increases the chances of rolling the very rare technologies, which a lot of them are pretty extraordinary. There's so many ground armies on this place. It's a little ridiculous. But the xenomorphs have it under control. As you can see, them cleaning up the armies rather quickly. I caught the rebel fleet, so I'm going to embark my transports and send them down in preparation for dealing with the rebels. This planet just came into my space, so I'm going to terraform it into an alpine world. My borders are ever pushing outward, and my fleet that I sent south has, in fact, taken over has defeated the rebel fleet, and my transports are now on their way down. The xenomorphs should be fully healed by the time they get to the destination as well. Let's see where these guys going. Ruta. Apparently there are 2 of them, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess he's going to the one here. So I'm gonna move to a system adjacent to where he's going so that I can come in roughly the same angle. I don't think I'll be able to catch him on the warp in, but it will let me get to where he's going very quickly. Let's see, I finished an army upkeep technology. So next, what I think I want to do is I think I want to buy the upgraded farms, which should allow me to again free up some ground tiles for more productive structures. Yeah, see, I came in on a slightly wrong angle too. He's going to Septoka. This time I'll land on the same angle as him, but I don't know if I'll be able to get there in time. Because I'm behind and he's also a Warp Empire, we have very similar travel times. But it looks like I may have caught his ship there, which is excellent news. My replacement army stack of xenomorphs is half complete. And overall things are going alright. I need to put down this rebellion though, real quick. I can't invade this planet because it's my vassal's planet. However, once I get my fleet in there, I think it'll be alright. Let's see, they are also running to Rulan. And you can see I've got quite a bit of available fleet support as well. So what I'm actually going to do is start production of a third fleet, because I still have an abundance of resources just sitting around. No, I want to finish the fleet academies. They are excellent. And I don't have them on some of these yet. I can straighten out the ship ratios later. That part's easy. But now that I'm not paying for all of those defensive pacts, you can see I'm gaining a ton of monthly influence, which means I can get my fleet academies up and running much more quickly. And that planet's already at 0 fortifications, so the rebellion will be put down shortly. My combat fleet in Rulan I'll move to try and engage. Mostly on the northern front, I'm just stalling until I can consolidate my fleets, just in case they do manage to rebuild. Though it looks like they seem pretty content to just run around. And because I only have one army, I can't really be advancing on 2 different fronts at the same time. I kind of have to take my time. But that's alright. Progression will happen. It's just a matter of getting around to it. And it always feels like it takes forever when you're waiting for something to happen. These guys are in warp, but I'm going to be on the wrong side of the system. Where are these guys? Entering orbit.
Construction complete.
Alright, so the first xenomorph army has landed on the rebellion, which they should put it down pretty quickly. They get a lot of armies, but you can see the rebels are actually terrible armies. There's just a lot of them, and the xenomorphs are just going to rip them to shreds. Xenomorphs, like I said, are the second strongest, really buildable army type. See, that's a problem. Where is this? In the Starty? Yeah, so that's up north. How big is it? 9 grand. So I'll send my fleet up to deal with it. My 19k fleet should have no difficulty tearing through even that 11k. small differences in fleet strength end up adding up pretty quickly. And I can now send my fleets that were dealing with the rebels up north.
Construction complete.
I don't think there's no primitives in Sigala, so I can stage there. And get ready to continue progressing the front. And I told my army to go and directly attack. He doesn't have, or he does have transports, and a lot of them. But they are going somewhere else.
Hostile fleet detected. Construction complete. Construction complete.
Alright, so this,
Construction.
we knew this war was going to take a little while, though. It just is not helped by the fact that there were rebels in the middle of the war. Because my my vassal is unable, apparently, to unable to suppress factions for some reason. Oh, damn it. I guess they combined in a weird way, and so my fleet was just sitting there. They lost the target that they were told to engage, so rather than engaging the one that they merged into, they just sat there. The rebellion's over, the minion is doing basically nothing, which also isn't surprising. It's really difficult, if you can't even maintain stability over a couple of planets, to actually project force toward an enemy. And so I'm not expecting much out of my vassal at all. But there we go. We're engaging up here. And you can see what I mean by the power discrepancy. Even though he had 2/3 of my fleet power, he's not doing 2/3 of my damage.
Construction complete.
He's got a lot of strike craft. I need to get that flak battery on my cruisers. That would help out immensely. But he's using fighters, it looks like, rather than bombers. And fighters don't deal with heavily armored targets like this battleship very well. They will bring it down, of course, but it will take them a lot longer than bombers would. And this fleet lost its destroyers and a lot of its little stuff, which is excellent. Been trying to get them out of my actual fleets for a little while now. But the front marches onward. I can actually use these ships that I built. I'm going to send one of these cruisers off to reinforce to keep the 2 cruisers per battleship ratio going. And start upgrading this army here, or this second xenomorph army.
Fleet engaged. Situation log updated. Situation log updated.
But it looks like I'll end up having to put rebellions down constantly with my new vassal, much the way I did with the previous Hegarian Union vassal. Which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Alright, so I need 3 extra cruisers for the new fleet that I'm working on.
Hostile fleet engaged.
And this Xenomorph army is more or less in position. He has 2 different planets here, which is fine. It just gives me more to take over. And I think I'm actually going to have my other fleet go engage his stuff here. I don't know why it's saying... Oh, yeah, because I have a cruiser. It's just in system moving. That's alright. went to not the planet I thought they would. So I've got the planet selected that my ground troops are going to, and I'm watching for them to arrive in orbit. I like to watch from this screen when I can, because it gives a better representation of how your armies are actually doing. You can, at a glance, make sure they're all at full health and that the fortifications are lowered, rather than just getting the check mark. And you can check their health normally by mousing over each army, but it's a lot faster if you can just look at everything at a glance. But let's see how we're doing here. And this war is going, like I said, it's steady. Slow, but steady.
Construction complete.
And my fleet, because I told them to attack the hostile fleet, they're actually chasing them down, which is excellent. Move these guys into orbit there. And we can build additional ships for our new fleet. Only wanted one there. So the way I'm building this is a battleship in one station and then 2 cruisers in the next. It's a really easy way to keep track of the 2-to-1 cruiser to battleship ratio, but also the cruisers take half as long to build as a battleship. So it kind of also keeps their production lines synchronized too. And this combat fleet, I'm going to go ahead and move them into there. The Righteous League is at war with Lavis, which puts them at odds with Centomeroi as well. So they're kind of piggybacking on my war right now. But that's alright. I think I've piggybacked on theirs before this game is already, so even if it was players, I wouldn't be mad. They're doing the same thing I did. And these guys are bombing the fucking primitives instead of the enemy. Idiots. You gotta watch with primitives, they'll do that sometimes. I kinda wish there was... Actually, there might be a policy for that, now that I think about it. First contact... Yeah, see, my people don't like the peaceful first contact, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna complain. And yeah, this planet still has its fortifications up, so I need to bring those down, which I can't imagine will take that long. Yeah, they're making good progress. I'll go ahead and land now. It's a little early, but my troops were confident that they'd win, and I'm pretty confident that they'll win. Go ahead and tell my armies to move there. He's got his transports, but depending on how the AI is feeling, it may not invade immediately. And you can see I've actually depleted my reserve of minerals, more or less. Some may have said it was impossible, but I disagree. I can always find a way to spend resources. It's acquiring them that's difficult. And you can see the xenomorph armies, as I thought, are winning on this planet.
Enemy planet secure.
So that system is under control. I'm going to move thusly. And you can see here, he's bombed this planet into oblivion already. Which could work out really well for me. That'll save me some time bombing it myself. And the Centauroi are a wormhole nation, so my fleet has decided that the wormhole station needs to die. And I'm not inclined to tell them that they're wrong. Though I do think once this salvo of ships is done, I'm going to expand my first two combat fleets a bit more. I want to get 15 battleships and 30 cruisers per primary combat fleet. I think that'll be a good default size. So send him after those two, and then up there to bomb the planet. Because that will clear the path for my transports. Yeah, see, he was trying to catch my transports, actually. I lucked out and moved them at just the right time. Alright. So, first thing we're going to do is take two cruisers, and or 4 cruisers, and 2 battleships. Reinforce combat fleet. You take the other 2 battleships. Reinforce that combat fleet. That seems good to me. That station won't last long. Hydrobius. Okay, yeah, they occupied the planet already. So we are going to move to the next system, Subra.
Situation log updated.
And this is just a relatively simple matter of moving through their empires and invading everything. It takes a while, but this war is over. I imagine a player would have already surrendered, especially given that this isn't even the only war that they're in. But the AI refuses to submit. I might actually end up at war with the Righteous League. Fortunately, with them flying through my space, I can actually get a pretty good estimate of their fleet strength. At least if I were paying attention. And then here, I'll go ahead and tell these guys. One of my reinforcement fleets just popped an enemy corvette. That wasn't even part of the plan, but I'll take it. And yep, we are slaughtering them on the ground there. Is he on the ground? He is not. Right, yeah, his transports are still in space. My fleet is, of course, bombing the wrong planet again. I think at the very least it should prioritize planets that belong to nations at war with you, rather than it seeming to prefer the ones that are just in the system and happen to have grown up in the wrong location. But let's see, how are we on the negotiation? We're at minus 33. Embark there. These guys move up to Deneb.
Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated.
I don't even know. And this looks like another enclave.
Situation log updated.
Yep. So I will go ahead and meet this enclave real quick. Nothing that I opened was actually the list of strategic resources, so you can see how many you have, what they do, all that mess. Pretty handy if you don't recognize them all at a glance on the pop-up, but
Hostile fleet engaged.
overall a useful interface, I think. The Zura Corp, so a trade company.
Hostile fleet engaged.
I am not opposed to traders. They essentially let you convert minerals and gas, or minerals and energy back and forth, and give you. Oh shit. Yep.
Situation log updated.
Okay. Well, they only got one of my xenomorph armies before the actual fleet landed.
Situation log
And that goes back to what I was talking about not blindly jumping in with your
updated.
ground forces. See, this is just Providence. He named this planet Unity.
Situation log updated.
Of course I have to have it. It only makes sense, right? So my sector governor died. And so I'm going to recruit a new one. Again, preferring the younger ones, but I'll take a quick glance at some of these other people. Yeah, see, he's 45 though. He's older than I'd like. Yeah, I'll go ahead and land these. See how they're feeling. And how is this fleet looking? Yep, 6 cruisers, 3 battleships. It has the right ratio. Just not enough ships yet, really. But, oh, shit. Okay, well, they got the planet anyway. So all is well. Combat fleet there decided to go attack the wormhole station instead of the enemy. We're up to 60% on the war, which is giving us minus 19 on the peace treaty. This planet was a bit more fortified, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, xenomorph armies are very powerful, and I have complete control of space, so there's nothing they can really do to stop me. I have more fleet than is even remotely necessary for this engagement. No. I'm gonna move here. Well, these guys, I'm just gonna have them go engage the enemy. Go ahead and land. Let them bomb for me, because that's pretty convenient, right? Yeah, we can see here the 12.5K, 17K. The Righteous League is able to field a pretty big fleet still, but I will be sitting on close to 60K before long. I'm already pretty well underway. And I'm about to have a second vassal, which is going to give me even more, which once I integrate it, of course, is going to give me even more fleet capacity. And I think I'm researching a fleet capacity technology. No, I picked farms instead. Alright. This time I led with the fleet like you're supposed to. Navigate my ground forces around the stations. Ugh. Like, really, this war is over. The I think there are still some balance changes that need to be done, but these guys are defeated. Even if the Righteous League wasn't here, they couldn't produce ships fast enough to stop me from continually advancing forward.
Hostile fleet engaged. Enemy planet secure.
Move them there.
Situation log updated. Hostile fleet engaged.
I've got 16k minerals in the stockpile, so let's go ahead and build some more.
Situation log updated.
And you can see I have an immense productivity lead, but I think I'm going to go ahead and insert a cut right here. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you're enjoying.